Have you figured out your niche? Are you helping adding value to other people's lives? Then you're in the right place. Welcome to Munira's Musings with your host, Munira Zahabi.
Greetings from Chicagoland. This is Munira. How are you? Welcome to Munira's Musings, a show where we talk about niches, how you got there, and what you do with the gifts you have. Our guest today is Camille Robb. And I don't know her as Camellia because she confuses me with her beautiful name where she calls herself Fabulous. And I know her grandma gave her that.
She did.
So we don't want to bring bad juju from grandma, but we know that she's fabulous. And welcome to our show.
Thank you, Mira, for inviting me. Such a pleasure being here.
You are welcome. So I know we have a lot of things to talk about, but let me give you an introduction. So Munira's Musings is a show where we bring people together, a new guest every week, where we talk about your niche, what products you have accumulated, the skills that you have accumulated, and what you are doing in your present right now with the skills you have. It's amazing because everybody's journey is kind of similar, but yet not the same. Everybody has had to go through trials and errors to get to where they are, and it's always fun to listen to somebody else's story. So thank you so much for being on our show, Camellia. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, yes, I am the fabulous Camille. And like you said, my grandmother gave me that name. A lot of people like, what makes you so fabulous? Because my grandmother saved me. She thought I was worth saving and she gave that to me. And I never used it when I was younger. You know why? Because I thought it was, something that you're bragging about. Because when I say that, people like, fabulous. I say, yeah. Every day you get up, you have to be fabulous. You got life. So that makes you fabulous, okay?
Yes.
That makes you fabulous. So I've been an entrepreneur for over 20 years.
Did you say 20?
Over 20 years, yeah.
Awesome.
So before I started that, my grandmother wanted a nurse. And that's what I did. I went to the college and I did the degree and I got the nursing degree. But it wasn't something that was for me. This is something that I wanted to give my grandmother because that's she wanted. She wanted a nurse in the family. I love taking care of people, but I wanted to be a pediatrician when I was a kid.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I wanted to find out how children work, what makes them laugh, what makes them, growing up back and forth, I was with my grandmother and my mother. And one of the things that kind of pushed me towards what I'm doing now is the way how my younger brothers were. Because when you're growing up, you don't have everything you need, but you get everything that you want, right? Food was something for me when we were growing up. When we were with our grandmother, we have plenty. But when you go with my mom, it's a different story. And my younger brother would cry constantly. And I was like, why is this little brat always crying? Just to figure out he was hungry.
Oh.
And do you know that when kids are hungry, everything up here stop working? They get upset, they get angry, and everything bothers them. When I came into this country, I saw the same thing. When I had kids of my own, before I had kids of my own, I used to work at a daycare. And I saw that the kids coming on Monday, they are like little, just angry.
Monsters.
Like little gremlin. You ever see Gremlin?
Yes.
The movie The Gremlin? Oh,
yes.
Yeah. They all cute and fluffy, but when they're hungry, they become these little things that you're like, oh my God, what's wrong with these kids? And then I found out that was a problem. And then when my daughter and my son start going to school, then the same thing happened. We volunteer at school and you see that. My daughter would give her food away so the next child would have. And my son is the same way. And that's how too, when I realized that my son didn't eat meat because I would pack him his nice lunch and come back, the meat will be gone. I'm like, I see you at, no, mommy, I gave it to Michael or I gave it to Andrew. He was always feeding kids. And I'm like, you know what? I started my own daycare so I can teach kids and actually learn what makes them tick. And the same thing, when they come in on Monday, they're frustrated and upset. And during the rest of the week, my kids are calm, collected because I'm feeding my kids in my daycare. They were getting fed 6 times. My husband used to say, "You're going to have a bunch of fat kids running around here." I say, "Yeah, they might be fat, but they ain't going to be crying and screaming and carrying on like they're crazy." And I partnered up with a company that allows me to not only pay my bills, but every time I pay my bills, they use it, a portion of it, to feed a child. And I latched onto that company 11 years ago. And to this day, every time I introduce a customer or a business company to this company, they feed a child and they pay you to do that. Can you believe that? You pay your bills and you get paid for paying your bills. Hey, I love that.
It's the way of life right now. Everything is an affiliate program, right?
Yep.
And who knows, right? Who knows, you being on this show is maybe a miracle, or somebody needs to hear this, right?
Yeah.
So wait, let me go back. You said when you came to this country, where did you come from?
I came from Jamaica. I'm originally from Jamaica.
I love the foods, right? I'm from
Yes.
so the foods are similar, although it's an island, but you like the warm climate.
Yes, I do.
All right. And I know that you like gardening. Is this why you garden?
Actually, yes. So I have a garden. It's called the Garden of Wonders, Rob. If you go look at it, Facebook, Instagram, you'll see it. So my husband has the same mentality that I do. He thinks no one should be hungry. So what we done, he planted everything you can think about: scallion, thyme, chocho, yam, cassava, banana, plantains, avocado, mango, everything you can think of that you go into the grocery store, my husband planted. And he showed people how to plant it. Now he's in real estate. So every time he sell a home, he showed them how to start their own garden, help them to start their own garden, and help them, show them how to maintain it. So at my house, when you come to my house, people come there to get stuff. When we reap, like last month, we did bananas and we took it to our church and we gave it away. Everything that he grows, he gives it away.
So the harvest is always shared with people.
Yes, yes.
And that's awesome, right? Because the thing is, I mean, one thing that everybody has seen but not felt, right? Because being hungry and without food is a very rare thing for a lot of people, but not many. Because here on TV, we see a lot of things where, even in Chicagoland, where I am at, you hear that the students don't have a meal when the schools are closed. And the children go to school to get that meal that the school provides, which is very sad. And you kind of figured it out through your kids. But which is amazing that your kids also took that mentality and started sharing their lunches without being told, right? They just did it because they see you doing it. And how are they doing right now, your kids?
So my daughter, she's in college for forensic science. She's going to be a profiler for the FBI. And she wants to rescue kids that's been kidnapped, raped, abused. She wants to be the one that's there frontline to take care of that. My son, right now, he's a chef at Universal. And his thing that he's finishing up, he wants to have his own pet hotel. So we're working on getting him a piece of land this year. So that's his dream. And I'm telling you, my son, when it comes to him and animals, it's absolutely fabulous. I mean, he can, any animal, I don't care. He was the kid that would come and bring you a lizard and said, "Look at this one. this one is green. And then the next one you'll come and he said, look at this one, he's orange. And as a mom, you can't freak out, you know, you just have to be like, oh yeah, but put it back outside because it belongs outside. Oh,
You know, that's amazing. So your kids are living the dream. So you help put food on people's places, and you are affiliated with this company. You have a garden. What else do you do?
so I have an exchange student program, right? So my program, it takes kids from all over the world and we bring them here to the United States. We place them into homes. So they have family that's going to love them, families that's going to teach them the American culture, and they get to go to school. Some of my kids, they come to me, they stay a month, some stay 3 months, some stay up to 4 years, and then leave from me and go to college. So I love what I do. I love loving on kids. And my oldest student he was 53 years old. He came to me from I have one that came to me from Saudi Arabia. I have one that came to me. What was the other guy came? Where did he? From Dubai.
Dubai police officer.
And he was a police officer, and he was here to learn English.
Wow.
And when he came here, he stayed with me. And that's the amazing part about when you have students, no matter what age they are, they have that wanting to learn, and all you have to do is just teach them. And that's my motto. Each one, teach one. I'll teach you and you teach the next person. It's just like my husband. He teach people how to garden so they don't have to worry about food. And then that person teach the next person. So each one teach one.
So, okay, so this is a wonderful concept. Now I want to talk to your husband too. If once he teaches them how to grow their own food, do people take that and run with it? Or there are some who just like, oh, forget it, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, some people are like that. Some people, we teach them how to do it. They still come and get food, or they still go to the store. Yeah, some people are like that. But there's nothing you can do, but you just have to keep teaching. Keep teaching. Someone will learn and somebody will pass it on. My grandmother taught me the same thing. She said, the reason why I'm teaching you how to cook, so you can cook and teach somebody else how to cook. So you won't have to worry about where your food's coming from. So it's each one teach one.
You know, this concept of teaching people, right? It's so unselfish, right? I know teachers are the lowest who are paid everywhere in the world, right? But they have this love of imparting this knowledge, and how you do it is just amazing. And yet, you know, we don't respect them enough, right? That's number one. Number two, the other thing is that we try to learn, we try to teach, we try to help. Now, all of these things has come into you because of the sentiments and all the teaching that your mother and your grandmother have instilled upon you. And this is amazing. So what do you tell people who are out there looking for their niche, figuring out what to do next in life? We are going through COVID right now, and everybody is kind of frazzled, scared. What do you tell people like that?
Well, you know what? There's nothing to be scared about. Yes, we have a virus that's out there, but at the same time, you need to learn a different trade. If your niche is cooking, learn how to be the best cook. If your niche is to be a janitor, know how to be the best one. You know, I was talking to a colleague of mine the other day, and he was talking about security. He remember when he first started and he was working it. And I said, did you know that I was also a security officer? He was like, what? I said, yes. I used to work at Planet Hollywood, and I was a licensed security officer. And what I did then, the one person that nobody knew that I protected was Michael Jackson. And I laughed to myself because I was like going back and remembering all the stuff that I did in my past. And I'm like, oh my God, I remember that. I remember when he walked into Planet Hollywood and the stairs, they point at me and say, go upstairs and bring him down. And I was like, me? Huh? No, 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 no. He said, yes, I need you to go up there and bring him down. And he had his bodyguards, but I had to bring the bodyguards down. That was one of the most nerve-wracking experience I've ever had. That's why I say, if you do something, you do it to the best. Because no matter what I put my hand on, I'm going to know how to do it. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to outdo the next person because I want to be the best at what I do. Find your niche, whatever your niche is, and work on it and be the best of it. I was a nanny. And as a nanny, I took care of a lot of children and a lot of different, because I was a nurse. So I had the ability to go in and take care of people and their family and teach them how to take care of each other. Because a lot of them, I remember I had a young man. When I first met this baby, he was 7 days old. 7 days old. To this day, now he's 5 years old. And I still have that love for him, and he still have that love for me. Why? Because that was my niche. I found something where if I love you unconditionally, you're going to love me back. He still calls me just to say hi. What could be better than that? To be able to connect with people globally, love on them, building bridges from country to country. I love what I do. I just love what I do.
It shows, right? I mean, I've never had an excited guest like you. Or I mean, everybody is in the process of making money and building businesses and everything. But you are not in that business. Even though that's a byproduct, what you do is build relationships. And when those are built, they're foundational to whatever's going to happen next in your life, right?
Yes. Yes.
I love it.
You just have to be you. I told a young lady on Saturday. She was telling me about whenever she go out and networking, because I used to do a lot of network. I love networking because I love meeting new people. And she said, I used to sit down and smile with everybody and I'm all excited. And then when she goes home and cry. So I said to her, I said, why was it like that for you? She said, because she was going through a divorce, she was unhappy and she couldn't let anybody know that side of her. And I said to her, it's so strange that people make all kind of sacrifice to please everybody else. But you know, if in that room, there was that one person waiting to speak to you, the real you. I said, just unmask yourself, take the mask off. And she looked at me, she said, wow, that could be a book. I said, yes, that's going to be my book. Unmask yourself.
I want part of it. But that's the thing, right? Because you never know who wants to hear. A few years ago, I went to a summit and we shared a room with 4 other ladies, right? There was 4 of us. And one of the ladies said to me, she says, when we were talking about life things. And she goes, Munira, you need to tell your story because somebody out there needs to hear it. Yeah. And I was then open with whatever happened in my life. And most of you know on this show that my husband passed away, but before that he was pretty sick. And we were doing all that. And I was out here on social media trying to build something, you know, maybe I was trying to find something that wasn't there, but you know what happened out there was build bridges of relationships.
Yeah.
I found people in the same predicament who were not able to say anything, but now had a voice through me to say something. So I like the fact that unmask yourself. I love it.
Yes. Unmask yourself, because I was told several times, tell your story. I'm like, who wants to hear about a child that grew up with her grandmother, and when she wasn't with her grandmother, she couldn't find something to eat. Who wants to hear that? And to my shock and surprise, there's a lot of people that went through that, you know, and you talk to one person and it's like, okay, this happened to me when I was a child. This happened to me when I was a child. I was like, wow, that's just how the world works. Someone is listening and waiting and listening, waiting and listening. Tell your story. Tell the truth. Unmask yourself. Tell the real you.
I love it. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We have a fantastic person on our show. She has a niche. She loves kids. She loves building bridges. And the fact is that she works with a company that helps her feed the kids that she so much loves. I mean, maybe some of them she hasn't met, but Tony Robbins is doing it. So why can't we share this sentiment with Camille, right?
That's right.
And what's your superpower? What are you doing to make a difference in somebody's life? Today is the first day of February. It's the second month. 2021, the fireworks have come and gone, but now we are in the second month, first day of the second month. And I'm asking you all, if you haven't done it, make a difference already, in not in only your life, but somebody else. If you haven't, I'm going to ask everybody to read a book called The Go-Giver. That book, I found out about it last October. I've read it 3 times. I have it on audiobook. But let me tell you, that book is an exceptional way to change your life, perspective of your life, and somebody else's life. And I think Camille is a perfect example of that. Is how you give, not just take, but give. And the more you give, it gets returned to you in tenfolds, right? Camille, how do people find you?
Well, social media have me all over the place. So you could find me on Facebook, and you could visit Fabulous Camille. You could go, you know what's best? If you want to talk to me, I like talking to people. Just call me, 407-489-5738. Let's have a conversation.
Yeah, let's have a conversation. And you never know where this conversation may end up. It could change your life or it could change somebody else's life. But with that, I would love to keep talking to you, but let me just say that we have to end this. But if you like this program, please go ahead, like, share, and subscribe to our channel, because we will bring you another guest next week with amazing stories and amazing opportunities for you to listen. Because here's the thing, hardship does come. We have to navigate through our hardship, and we have to get to our niche, because this niche is our purpose in our life. And we don't have to look far. We just have to like and look at what we love to do. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, and have a good week.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Munira's Musings with your host, Munira Zahabi. If you enjoyed our show, please share and subscribe to this channel. And for more content, please join our Facebook group.